People don't have to believe in you, and honestly, they probably won't. That shouldn't have anything to do with you. Nobody believed that I was going to be a good mother, and nobody believed I was ever going to stay sober. Nobody believed I could hold down a job. They were right about that one. Nobody believed I could ever accomplish anything. And I'm not saying that to say anything bad about my friends or my family. They were forming opinions based on evidence that they had seen from me and from their own perceptions. I had done a very long video on Flip. It was a debate about whether or not people could change. And I think people only ever change. The change is inevitable. The question is not if it is possible, it is a question of when and how. You have to want the change and you have to invite the change. I said in that debate video that I believe the people who say that people never change are making excuses because they are bitter that somebody did not change for them or change in exactly the way that they wanted them to change. That's usually something in a conversation about cheating. Once a cheater, always a cheater, and cheaters never change. And so I feel like that's where I hear the most, that people never change. But same with conversations about abuse and abusers. I'm sure they changed. It just might not have been in the positive way. My point is though, that if you want to see a change in your life and you want to make a change, you do not need to wait for people to believe in you, and you do not need to wait for these words of validation and encouragement. More often than not, people want to see you fail. If you cannot change and you cannot succeed, it is much easier for everyone around you to stay stagnant and not change and not succeed. Humankind is so beautiful. I mean, the kind of beauty that you cannot wrap your mind around. But God, we are also all so evil. There's another conversation I would love to hear y'all's thoughts on. Do you think that people are born good or born bad? I used to think that people were born good and that this world turned them bad. But I had this Uber driver and we had such an interesting conversation with each other, and she told me her thoughts and explained why she believed that we were all born as bad, evil, selfish creatures. And she really changed my perspective. Infants and toddlers and children are selfish and they want what they want, and they throw tantrums and get angry and when they don't get the things that they want. I love children, and I don't mean that in a all children are fucking evil sort of way. We are taught good, we are taught selflessness, and we are taught empathy, and we are taught care, and obviously not everyone is, and even if they were, people can unlearn things and perspectives can change. And so change is not always a good thing. You cannot not change. You cannot go through even a year of life and not change as a human being. It just might not be a good change. My own family, God, they were pissed when everybody found out that I was pregnant. Nobody was really happy, and nobody thought I was going to be a good mother. And that sucked. It hurt, But I had never shown myself to be a responsible person, not one time. And I had never shown myself to be somebody who was really trying in her sobriety and to have my mental health issues under control. I cannot blame anybody for feeling that way. But you can do whatever you want to. I said before, you can just wake up one day and decide you are somebody entirely new. You can be anything or anybody you want to be. If you want to be a good person, you have to wake up and make the decisions that a good person would make and figure out what a good person means to you. And nobody around you has to believe that you are a good person in order for you to start being a good person. Nobody around you has to think that you are smart in order for you to start educating yourself. I've enrolled and dropped out of college I think at least 4 times now. Nobody thinks I am going to stay in school. Not nobody. I have some supporters. I am now in a cybersecurity program. I want to do ethical hacking. I can hack people. Legally, everybody has consented, of course. But now I would be learning even more skills, and be able to build a resume, have a certificate, and I could get paid a fuck ton of money for doing something that feels bad, feels wrong, but they're consenting and asking me to do it. So that's really cool. I failed every single year of school until I inevitably dropped out and moved across the country in like 24 hours, less than that. I'm sorry if all of my videos seem so low effort and thrown together. I used to spend like upwards of 8 hours just editing everything. I still would like freak the fuck out because it just never felt perfect enough, and I'm really just trying to be relaxed on this channel and talk and share what I want to and not really give a fuck. But anyways, thank you for tuning in and watching. I love you all. Goodbye. I hope you're having a wonderful fucking day.